Greetings, one and all, and welcome to our Picard review of episode 8, Surrender. I am your host, Stone Loki. Why did we have the short intro this morning, Loki? Because there's enough to unpack here without having a 3-minute intro. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys have had a great week. I have had an interesting week here on Mornings of Mischief. Good morning to everybody out there. Larry, Real Wade Nations Gaming Clips. Good morning. Pat S. What is up, my friend? Good morning. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Snorta Poopus Cuper, my favorite polar bear on YouTube. What is up? The first one in the door this morning. Dean Krantz. Good morning. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Our mad, angry wrench. Oh, crap. We lost Arwyn.
Oh, no.
Mark the MC. All I had to do was mention how Mark was angry and we lost Arwyn. Holy crap. Maybe we'll get Arwyn back. I don't know. I hope so. Dave G Sound, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. The Wrench of Wrenches, Chris Persia, is here. Good morning, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Leia Rose, good morning. And she's back. I bet you she hit the back button on her mouse.
No, I clicked on the wrong damn tab. Sorry. I got like a million open. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Adega Outlaw, what is up? The mad doctor of disaster and destruction. Good morning, Adega. Brandon, Looney Tunes fan 2000, he's here. Good morning, Brandon. Psychodorf 9, how are you doing, brother? Mary's Game Room is here. Good morning, Mary, guys. If you didn't know, Mary's Game Room is opening back up her charity for the year, her Extra Life charity campaign. She's going to be kicking it here in the future on an episode of Mornings of Mischief to talk about her charity. Good morning, Mary. Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Did I miss Project Cambrian? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So Dean Krantz says, I watched the show, but other than data stuff, I found the rest would get food. We're going to talk about that this morning. One of the things that I said last week, absolutely, I believe it carried over to this week. And that is that the familiarity between these characters is here. And I think that's what's keeping people watching. The people that are watching this, that are enjoying this, they're enjoying the familiarity between these characters, seeing Data and LaForge together, seeing Riker and Picard. That's initially what caught my attention, was the familiarity between Riker and Picard and their banter back and forth. And it was like, holy crap. It's like having these two characters actually interact and be themselves for once. Seen in this episode, Riker and Deanna together. And immediately you go, no, that's Deanna. It's not a changeling. You would think that, oh, well, maybe they're going to try this changeling thing with Deanna. No, that's Deanna. There is no question. It is what Potato Revan, good morning, Potato Revan just said. He says, I've told Rambling before, this season feels like Star Trek. And it's because of these familiar things that I think some people are still hanging on to this and still watching it. Everything else is debatable, is questionable. Some of it, I think, what's her name? Vatic is just, I couldn't gel with this whole my villain. Wow, excellent. You know what I feel like I'm watching? I feel like I'm watching something completely not Star Trek. And every time I see her, I cannot help but hear this shit in the background.
I now declare this frickin' idiot convention open! That's all right. Hey, with a frick here and a frick there, here frick there, frick everywhere, frick.
I just can't help but hear that. And I mean, hell, that's the Valhalla mailbag opening. And I'm like, oh my God, she's not even as good as Dr. Evil. So
she is over the top.
Yes.
Doesn't fit the tension they're trying to build, in my view.
But she's so.
But she's one note, and when a villain is a villain or a hero or whatever is one note, there is no tension building.
All she lacked was the mustache to twirl.
Yes.
Yeah,
and a dog
yeah.
named Muttley.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. She reminds me of an old school villain.
Snidely Whiplash.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah.
My goodness.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm typing something out.
Mm-hmm. It's great to be here, ladies and gentlemen. For me, this episode wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. I think it was slightly better than the last episode, but
Right.
Oh yeah.
not as good as, say, episode 5 or even 6. So,
To me, I enjoyed it because it was the reunion episode where they finally bring them all in, and then, well, I can't say anything because Loki hasn't run the spoilers thing yet, but
Right.
so,
Other than the relationship feel good stuff, it was still shit.
And I think I really think that's a thing. I really do. Hey, Arwyn, could you click on private chat?
I got you. I got your back, Loki. Got your back.
I'm just I don't know. It's like a disturbance.
Is it false? Yep.
So I thought this was Loki's what? Mark? I don't know what you mean. They say there's a legacy show in the works, but if this is how Trek is in the future, I will be happy. What did they miss?
I think this is peak, personally.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with that. I think this is the best you're gonna get as far as familiarity goes. I think that's what Terry wanted, and I think it's gonna be very difficult for them to try and like resurrect legacy characters without legacy actors. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why did we have this? Why didn't we have this in with Spock coming back? Why? Because the guy wasn't Spock. It's not Spock. He can't be Spock. He doesn't act like Spock. He doesn't know what Spock knew. It's not Spock, and we all know that.
Yeah.
So there's no familiarity with the character. There's none of those moments where you're like, oh my God, it's Leonard Nimoy, it's back as Spock. You don't get that because it's just not there. It's not. MB Geeks Bar and Grill with $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. He says Warp with Captain Pips was really cool to see. When they all are in the room, I was like, they got the band back together.
Mm-hmm.
When they're all in, okay, so we're gonna we're gonna put up the God damn it, Mike. Spoilers.
Well, now that you put that up, see, Loki, I thought the song you were going to play for Vatic was I Fall to Pieces, but oh well.
She dropped Ebony Maud.
She had to get that one final F-bomb in, though.
Yep, because it's the 25th century, Dave Bob. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Okay, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she was getting blown out.
Notice that.
She was like,
I liked it. It was fine for me.
Yeah, actually,
didn't notice.
Instant karma.
Epping solids.
you know the best meme for that is right when she says it, you put Ralphie from a Christmas Story going fudge.
Yeah.
And then boom, you see her ass going out the fucking getting sucked out and shit.
Oh, her hand's gonna survive. They're gonna somehow get her hand back with the big boogaloo in it. And I don't know. I don't think we've seen the last, but that's it's science fiction, y'all. Anything could happen.
As far as story goes in this episode, I don't know. It's just kind of Some of it, I mean, some of it's good, and some of the camaraderie and the friendship and fellowship you see from the crew is there, and I think that's what's making people feel good about
Just
this.
so heavy into the nostalgia. It really, I like seeing them together. Don't get me wrong, but it was so sugary coated and sweet that I got a little bit sick in my stomach.
Just tickled your bunghole, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I like having my bunghole tickled because I love it.
Shum says, funny how a completely different species from a different part of the galaxy has the same swear words as humans and solids. You would think that whatever swear words or stuff that they say. Can anybody remember what was it? Alien Nation?
Yeah.
The guy, when the guy's like, what did he say? He says, your mother makes out of season. And he's like, oh, motherfucker. You would think it would be something like that, but we don't get that deep level of thought.
Yeah, I agree. But as far as the nostalgia goes, I mean, I think I said this, I don't know if it was like last week or the week before, they're all kind of blending together at this point. If you're going to do Picard, which was another thing that drove me nuts, the way she would Picard. I'm like, lady, okay, everyone else says Picard. You're just being ostentatious now, but whatever. If you're going to have Picard and you're going to have, like you say, these legacy characters, then damn it, have legacy characters. Is it member berries? Is it nostalgia? Or does it just make sense to bring these people together? Because again, they're people he's worked with, they're people from his past. Let's face it, they're people we give a shit about. If we're going to see Picard and we're going to see, we want to see everyone else from the Enterprise. We want to see TNG. That's why if they had started this season exactly how they did it, we didn't need old crack mama's whole backstory. We don't need to know, Seven and I's lesbian love and her. We didn't need to know all that. If they started it out just like this from beginning to end, I would have been there for it from minute one. Not that this is a perfect season. I'm not saying that, but this is what we wanted from the beginning. We didn't want all that other battery mess and all that shit. We didn't want any of that.
And it would give the creators more time to build on this villain who will either be released in the next episode, or hell, we may not even know who the big bad is until the final episode of this season. And, who it is could well define whether this is meh or god-awful, because there's no way this show is great.
And all I can think about is dun, dun, dun.
What Mark's saying here is true too. I expected to hear the words, I can see you, Jack. Can you see me? Oh, be honest, sweet Jack. From one shapeshifter to a Borg adolescent. Oh God, we lost somebody. Oh, you lost 20. Right in the middle, 24. Right in my little my Chang thing.
Tech curse.
Sweetheart, come up here. Mama's gotta milk you.
Or how many y'all, when she's sitting and fondling and that, I want to take this chair with me, it's so comfy, expect her to spin around and cry havoc and let's flip the dogs a bar. Yep. Just please, if you're gonna go there, damn it, go there, commit, do it, because what you're doing right now isn't quite working.
Well, they might as well. They've thrown about every other member berry in there.
But there are some problems with this. You see, okay, so in this episode, I'm going to just throw this out here. There's my biggest problem with this episode. You see Worf kill a changeling with his blade. Yes, he does phaser it after it drops to the ground, but it's a changeling. Why are changelings being killed with slice and dice?
Can't be killed with slice and dice. We
saw Odo dodge all kinds of shit like that. It always took some kind of energy-based weapon to take out a changeling. And I know there's going to be people like, but Loki, they went around the ship after the fact and phasered everybody. How long was that changeling on the ground after getting gutted with a knife? Changelings can't be gutted with a knife.
But Loki, these are different changelings.
I was going to say, nice imitation, Dave Bob. Aren't these altered changelings? I mean, they're juicy changelings now, y'all.
They're Federation changelings now.
They kind of got a modeled skin. They're not gray like they used to be.
Right. They're not, smooth and buttery and oily. They're like chunky and viscerally, and I mean they're nasty. Yeah, they're nasty. So that's going to be the explanation. Now, whether or not they should be able to do that, I don't know. But somewhere's going to come out. Their DNA.
A tiger doesn't change his spots. I mean, you don't give up your evolution, from one thing to another like that.
They're going to come out and say it was all the experiments. That whoever, Starfleet or whoever. I still think it better be a rogue organization within Starfleet and not Starfleet proper. I'm going to lose my shit. But
either way,
when you received
either way, they backed themselves into a corner because those experiments happened on a Federation research station full of all kinds of.
Shut up, Loki! I don't want to hear that.
That says, to be fair, Warp has a plus 14 blade. What about Rappy? Rappy's like, I'm gonna channel the Golis, motherfuckers.
Oh, she did too.
I'm gonna tell you what, that little bitty woman going through there and doing all that slice and dice reminded me more of a ninja than anything else.
Yeah, it did me too. It did me too.
Thank you, Chris Persia. If blades were dangerous to them, why did Baddock cut off her own fucking hand with 0 after effects every episode when she talks to her boss?
Yep.
Because she's Peter Pettigrew. That's why.
Master.
That's why.
Oh, you're the master. He is the master. He is Voldemort's master.
This is what it is. I mean, we have seen nods to several different IPs in this series so far. You know, we've seen nod to Harry Potter. We've seen nod to the Return of the Jedi. This last one where he comes in with the bomb. Shades of Leia going in to see Jabba. I mean,
we need to find out what's beyond the green. I mean, red door.
Who wanted to see this right here? Can you imagine Odo storming out of his room? Dax! Wait a minute, Odo. Why are you a shade of red? Because Commander Dax put Jello powder in my sleeping bucket. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Better tighten security then, Constable.
Yeah, but big brain logic.
Okay, so there was some really good parts of this episode. I mean, it starts out, obviously they've taken control of the ship. They've lost control of everything. Baddock and her changeling infiltrators, whatever you want to call them.
Basically, almost her whole crew. She only left a very minor contingent back on the ship from what I got out of it.
I see a red door and I want to paint it black. Dega's got it. Dega's got it.
I don't know the reference because I'm 23.
Behind the boathouse.
It's an old song.
Guess you don't know that one either. I'll show you my dark secret.
Nope.
Wow. Stoties. Anyway, I would like to see a classical Star Trek written episodic series with Shaw and a less angry Seven on the Titan. I would watch that. What has come out? What has really popped out of each episode of this so far? It is, and some people are, it's just member berries. There's some nostalgia in this, but there's also familiarity. Why did everybody have a problem with Seven in the second season of Picard? Because she didn't act like Seven. You didn't get that Voyager feeling. There was none of that. What happens when they bring her on? She has this moment where she's looking at Voyager, the Voyager, and she's talking about how she was reborn on that ship, and you hear the music, and suddenly you're like, "Holy shit! They brought Seven back. They really did. Not this other fucking. We're Republican Space Rangers.
Exactly. And
all you female Rangers out there, we're going to unite because we're stronger when we're scissoring. Oh my God." We're like Voltron. The more of us you put together, the better it gets.
I mean, at this point, it's like they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they don't put in characters that we're familiar with to hit those sweet spots, then people are like, oh well, it's not Star Trek. But then if they do put them in, then people are bitching, oh, it's just member berries. It's like you can't have it both ways. I've said it before, if you're going to do Picard, then damn it, Do it, Picard. Bring in the crew. Let's see them do what they do best. I don't understand why that's a problem. I genuinely don't. And
Battery
that's why the
muncher
first
is
few seasons
behind the
tanked.
front door.
Well,
Yeah, it was bad writing, and they didn't, and the characters weren't who they were. I get there's going to be some changes. I get they're going to grow and evolve because they're older. They have more experiences to draw on. Everybody changes a little bit. But if you are at the core of who you are, and that's what I'll speak for myself. As a Star Trek fan, damn it, that's what I want to see.
Well, they
And Snow, to
actually,
answer your
tried
question,
to throw a little bit of that stuff in at the first part of it. Even in the first couple of seasons of Picard, they always had, one or two members, show up in the background or whatever. It just didn't work out because it was just, kind of like one or two of them showing up randomly.
Yeah, and that's not. It's like, okay, especially when everybody else has changed so much.
And Snowdub, to answer your question, we got Red Foreman right here as the president of the Federation. We've got this guy as the president of the Federation. We got this guy who's like boob head. He's bra head in Deep Space Nine. And then we get fucking Stacey Abrams,
Lizzo's fatter sister.
Lizzo's bigger sister. So yeah, Star Trek already did that. Whole lot of weight.
Well, one good thing I'll say about this season is there hadn't been any Borg getting eaten by space lilies.
Yeah.
They'll be eaten by tree trunks instead.
Yeah.
And Pat S, that's because it's the actor that played Foreman. That's in the show.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing shades of Undiscovered Country, the way that they're going with this season. I mean, you want to talk about member berries. That's what's taking it, this whole thing leading up to, because, there you had the, the underdogs, how they got themselves into the pickle and had to get themselves out. Then you had the summit where they all had to go to one place. And here you've got, the underdog situation. They had to get out of a pickle. And now it's what is it? Federation Day?
Frontier Day.
Frontier Day.
How are they going to get
Frontier
back to
Day.
Earth? How are they going to get back to Earth from Chintoka in a few hours?
Oh, man, those new
Spore Drive.
Yeah, those new ships.
They got data now, so they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
he
can power
the
the
technology.
But as far as
he's going to use a transporter to transport the old ship instantly.
Go ahead, Rambling.
As far as Whoopi Goldberg goes in season 2, I don't know what she did to piss that cameraman off, but Loki said, "Man, did he do her dirty?"
Dude, she looked like a fucking moon pie.
To piss him off, but man, if there was a bad shot to be taken, he took it.
I've never in my life, and I've seen some shit, ladies and gentlemen, but I've never in my life seen a moon pie with legs and hands. And all you see is her little hands. There are no arms. You just get little hands out of the moon pie and a head. That's it.
Yeah, like there were
legs, stubby little legs.
That would have been a lot more elegant, and he didn't know. He took every bad angle he could find.
Did she have
Looks like a beach ball with the drapes on it.
There.
Looks like a beach ball with drapes on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like a moon.
Not only did she piss off the camera crew, she pissed off whoever was taking costumes that day because they didn't do her any good either.
They had her a song ready for when she first showed up, "Moon in a Moo," but they were like, well, maybe that's a little too toxic.
Like I said, I don't know who she pissed off, but she pissed somebody off because wow.
Yes, and he was also in Voyager's Year of Hell. Yes, he was. Indeed, he was. He was in Star Trek a couple of times. Mobile, Alabama. I have seen. Okay, yes, I have, but I've also seen. I saw a 600-pound woman in a fucking G-string running down the beach one year in Galveston. So yeah.
Ah, my eyes.
No, thank you. I think this show has some issues, but they are trying. They are trying at least to get the characters, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm giving the direction team, the directors, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe this is all coming from the actors working with each other. It's like, oh my God, we're all together again. Hello, Beverly.
Okay, but let me ask y'all something. This is something I've been thinking about since this whole season came up and all the controversy surrounding it and yada yada. Is that wrong to give, if the writers are trying, the directors are trying, they're trying to come together and put together a decent show? Is that wrong to give them credit? Have we become so jaded? And I'm talking to myself as well as, because I know you have, Dave Bob, honey, so you can sit this one out. I know you have. We all know you have, and we love you for it. We love you for it.
That's why you're here, my friend.
Right. And I've got no, God, because you got to caveat everything nowadays. I'm not slamming anyone who doesn't. I'm genuinely not. I'm asking a question. Just kind of food for thought. But we all know the first two seasons, for the most part, not everyone thought they sucked, but I thought they sucked ass. They were not Picard to me. Okay. But if I see something like this, no, it's not perfect, but compared to the last two seasons, it's like a 500% betterment increase. I see the trying there. I see the modicum of respect. I see them trying to do something that should have been done from the very beginning. Why is that a bad thing? To say, hey, okay, maybe they're finally getting their shit together without having to say, oh my God, yes, all is forgiven. And yes, now this is Star Trek. We don't have to do that. But at the same time, we can at least give credit where credit's due. Why is that considered such a sin to do nowadays? In this community. With some.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't think it is. And I've had my own moments of, oh my God, geekery. Look at the last season of The Mandalorian, season 2, end of season 2. Luke Skywalker comes back. Everybody's like, oh my God, they figured that out. No, they were setting everyone up so that they could have Luke take a fall and be a loser so that it signifies everything that's going to happen later in the movies and cements it in stone. But we all thought, they finally come to their senses. That Luke comes in like a badass, but it was all so they could show us how much of a loser he was.
Season 3, Lizzo.
People are very, very like, we're not going to get fooled again. And I think that's the big thing, is we don't want to be fooled again. But I agree with what you're saying. And that's, this can be good on its own without, quote, saving Star Trek. Yeah. And I think that's what everybody's waiting for. They're waiting for this. Something's going to come in and save it. Someone's going to come in and rescue it. Someone's going to come in and put it back on the path it used to be. What you have to accept is that path is gone.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Because look, at the end of the day, in my mind, it doesn't need saving, because I have the original. I have TNG. I have the incredible, my favorite, DS9. We have Voyager. And if y'all like, Enterprise, I never really got in Enterprise. That damn song, I can't, y'all. But,
I love that song.
I'm sorry. A lot of people do.
So much.
A lot of people do. But my point is this. If modern Trek is dead, it's dead. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy at least what they're trying to give us, what they should have given us in the beginning. Because we've got the original stuff, and they can never take that away from us, ever. It is set in stone.
That's right.
Those originals are set in stone. But I'm gonna at least say, okay, thank y'all for trying. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe I'm too idealistic about stuff.
No, and because that's pretty much where I am right now. Is I'm appreciating the familiarity of the characters and the fact that they're at least getting that right.
Yeah.
Whether that is the actors, whether that is the writing crew, whether that is Terry Metalis, whether that whatever it is,
Whatever. Yeah.
the familiarity and the camaraderie between the crew, the original TNG crew, is there,
Oh,
and you feel
yes.
that.
You
Hmm.
do.
You feel it when Geordi is almost panicking because they almost lose Data in this episode again. Geordi's almost in a panic. Well, he's in a panic because they're so close to getting his best friend in the entire universe back, and he wants that brotherhood and fellowship. And when they succeed at that, and they have that moment where they're walking down the hallway together and they're talking and they're it's almost like they're joking back and forth with each other. And he's like, Data. And he's like, what? Like, hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
Get used to it. It's those little moments that you
Hmm.
know what that's what made us all love TNG. So
Hmm.
why can't we enjoy
Mhm.
that? Mr. Buttcrack Media with a $22 Canadian super chat says, "Good morning to the awesome panel and to the awesome chat and the best morning show. Thank you so very much, Mr. Buttcrack Media." I've been honored to have Snowdub do his show right before mine this week. I have to see more of that in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much, Mr. Buttcrack,
Hmm.
for those kind words. Victor Fontaine says, because Picard season 3 is still not good enough to hold my interest, I need good sci-fi in my Star Trek, and 5 minutes of space jellyfish doesn't cut it.
Hmm. For some, it's too little, too late, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I have the attitude of never trust the establishment, never make peace with the establishment, and when they offer you an olive branch, there's usually a sword on the other end of it. So, but if you enjoy the show, then good. If you don't, well, that's good too, and we can all hang together,
Yeah,
make sure
I do
that
agree with that.
tension doesn't, and well, give our thoughts on it, and that's exactly what we're doing here.
Does anyone out there blame anyone for saying nope, it's absolute shit and I'm not going to watch it? I'm not going to try and convince
No.
you against your opinion. You are absolutely entitled to that.
Mhm.
Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsmith and these people have run Star Trek into the ground. They have made absolutely shit shows. I don't blame you if you don't want to give this a chance. Now,
Well, y'all
you don't want to watch it,
would have to hate me.
but if you're not going to watch it and you want to review it, that's a totally different situation. You can't
Yeah.
review it if you don't watch it.
I will agree with that. I will agree with if somebody is like, nope, I'm done. They wrecked the first two. I am done. I'm behind that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. I get it.
I will
But like
say
you
this
said,
though. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I just wanted to reiterate. Yeah, if you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit on a review panel or I'm gonna review it, but I refuse to watch it, then why the hell are you there? You've got nothing to add to the conversation. If you just want to add, hey, this is why I'm not gonna watch it, XYZ, then that's fine. I get that. That is adding to, this is why I'm not, because they tanked it here, they tanked it there, blah, 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 blah. But okay, if you're gonna review it, but you're not gonna watch it, that makes no sense to me. Because then you can't really properly review the show itself. You could do an overview on why you're not doing it and what's come before. But as far as the season episode per episode, I don't see the sense in that.
And Chris Persia says, if anyone read Wizard of Earthsea, they would have seen them telegraph what they were going to do with Data the moment we first heard Data and Lore were partitioned. No, I called that shit this morning. I absolutely called that shit this morning. I knew exactly what they were going to do. As soon as the memory thing started, I was like, he's going to give everything of himself to Lore, and Lore's not going to be able to do shit about it after that because he's all there. All of him.
You are
all of
what
him's
you
there.
eat.
You are what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I saw that shit coming a mile away. But people were like, oh, they think they're so creative. They think they're so smart that they're doing this. How much sci-fi have we all watched over the years? How many times have we been? Go ahead.
Still watching.
To that point, Loki, I mean, like, how many shows of the same genre as sci-fi have we watched? And it's, of course, memory banked. So at the end of the day, everything looks like something else. I mean, horror films have that problem now. especially if you go into the not a slasher film, but even slasher films. What could you possibly do that hasn't been done already?
Winnie the Pooh.
You know what? That's probably been done.
Yes, it was recently done with
probably
Winnie
been
the
done.
Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was a great success.
I will say, when you see something that's truly original, it is so refreshing that it just blows my mind.
This is why I love Dega's books.
Yeah,
that is right. That right
that's
there,
what I was
Dave
just
Bob.
about
Is
to
why
say. You just took the words out of my mouth.
And
why
Dega's already answering. Not my stuff.
That's why when something original comes out, everyone replicates it. Look at Friday the 13th, for example, and they ended up making, I don't know, probably 13 movies.
I think one of the biggest problems with original storytelling is, the old saying, "Kiss, keep it simple, stupid." They try and make things too convoluted. Too hard. Yeah, they don't just look at the things that have been so successful in the past. The storylines, in essence, when you bear it all down, are pretty damn simple. And when you start trying to get too complicated and to this, and it becomes a one-upmanship instead of a let's just tell a good story. I think that's when things get like they start borrowing from here and borrowing from there, and you end up just with this mishmash of seen it, done it, instead of just keeping things simple and starting from a very simple premise and then building on that simple framework.
Simple foundation.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Building. Keep it safe.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, 24. Good to have you back.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back.
Appreciate that.
And the other, he's like me. He's floating underwater. I've had over 8 inches and it's still raining.
Oh, my.
Well, Tilly, she's a big girl. What a big girl Tilly is. Tilly big. Tilly huge.
The other point I would make as far as this season is concerned is I want to know who, before the screens were wrote, the scenes were wrote, who sat Stewart down and said, "Okay, we've done it your way. Now we do it ours. Shut the fuck up and be Picard." Because for season 1, season 2 had Stewart written all fucking over it.
Because at the end of the day, bitch, you're a working actor. Be a working actor. Just come in and do your part.
He had to have some control though. He wasn't going to get put in the position he was in the last time he was on Star Trek.
But not everyone
sit down and shut up position or go work somewhere else.
Not
which people will argue to death. Oh my God. It's like the Gene Roddenberry. People will argue this shit to death. I'm just like, you know what? He tried to get his way. Patrick tried to get his way. Yeah. And when he went in and demanded it and put his job on the line, they were like, okay, we'll write you out at the end of the season. And then it was like, whoa, wait, no. But you listen to Patrick Stewart say it. So you got two minds of thought. You can either go one way or you can go the other way, or you can sit down and go, you know what? They're probably both egomaniacal fucking maniacs. The truth is probably in the middle somewhere.
There was one scene, though, right at the end of this episode where everyone sits around the table and Picard's like, "It's great to have you here with us. It's great to be here with all of you again." It's like, I'm sure the actor doesn't agree because he didn't want any of them to be involved in the project. I found that to be rather funny.
Yeah, well, sometimes, I get it. There are some actors that become good producers. They become good directors. They become good showrunners. Fine. Not all of them do. And this was a prime example. The first 2 seasons was a prime example. Just come in and be Picard. Yeah.
According to Patrick, it's not the next gen. It's the Picard show. It has his name on it. It's Star Trek Picard. So it should be all about me, not about the rest.
He's the Hulk Hogan of Star Trek.
That shows him that he doesn't really understand how that works then.
That's right. No,
because,
you're absolutely right.
Again, those people are part of Picard's past. They're part, though they're going to be part of his future. It's just the way it is. That is what TNG was set up. Yes, Picard was the captain. Picard was the head honcho. He was the big kahuna. We get it. But really, what is Picard without Riker? What is Picard without Worf? What is Picard without Troy? What is Picard without Crusher? What is Picard without Data and Geordi? It was an ensemble cast.
Yes.
That's what made that show so special. It wasn't just about Picard. Picard's fine, but on his own, he's just a little part of the whole.
Well,
He's
I
not the whole.
I knew this whole thing was going to be a shit show when it was first announced, and I heard what Patrick Stewart said and how they were going to go about, doing the show. It instantly, when I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, this is going to be a shit show," and sure enough, it was.
I remember my mom running in to tell me about, she was like, "Oh my God, guess who's going to be on the new Star Trek?" And I'm like, I don't care. I was a kid. I don't care. She goes, "But it's that guy." "What guy?" "The guy off of Reading Rainbow." And I was like, "Oh my God, Reading Rainbow?" I had to watch fucking Star Trek. Why? Because LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow was going to be a character, and he's going to have a visor. And oh my God, he looks so cool. The guy from Reading Rainbow. Why? Because I was like 7, 8 years old.
Yep.
Everybody loved Reading Rainbow. That was like, okay, we get to screw off in class in elementary school and watch Reading Rainbow. Everybody loved Reading Rainbow.
Yeah,
This was before
after my time.
It's before my time and after Dave Bob. So that's so you can gauge the age range of the panel, folks.
Could you imagine? And a lot of people can, because they wanted it. They wanted Patrick Stewart to go bye-bye, and they wanted Riker to take command during the Borg episode. I think it was.
Locutus could have been a big bad for the end of the show, and then they bring him back.
Dean, I thought maybe it was Dean. He said it. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, it is Dean Krantz." I still wish they had killed Stewart when he was Locutus. Captain Riker would have been more fun. That crew was so great together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just have to say, this is why people are liking this.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yes, I know, Hellion. I know.
Oh, the panel has various ages: 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all sorts of ages.
Thanks for making me feel old, Loki. You're welcome.
Wow.
I have to feel my age, so do you, fucker.
If I'm feeling like this at 23, my goodness.
I watched them make an episode of Reading Rainbow on the beach near my house. Damn, dang it. Hell yeah. But it was this great cast. You had young, you had old, you had Klingons, which we hadn't had on Starfleet side before. And I can hear my dad going, "That's because of them Ruskies. He's like the Rusky on the crew." And I'm like, whatever. He's cool. Look, he's an animal. He's the tough guy. He's the muscle. So what? It's magic what they ended up doing. The first couple of seasons were rough.
Oh yeah.
They always are for a Star Trek show.
And not everybody was down. I want to. Even though I fucking hate JJ's Klingons, I hate them. I'm gonna be very clear about this. I hate JJ's Klingons. Not everybody was happy when they put the head ridges on them in the first place, which was Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Was the first time we ever saw Klingons. Was the first time we ever heard the language. Bah! Fire! We never had seen that shit before. So we're like, who the hell are these guys? Oh my God, these are the Klingons. They don't look like Klingons. They don't talk like Klingons. A garbage scow. The Enterprise should be hauled away as garbage. That's the last time we heard from the Klingons.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and
but you know why?
What the hell?
Because they committed. They committed, and they didn't just stick some head ridges and have some funny sounds. They made an entire culture and language, and they totally committed. And I think people eventually warmed up to that. And then you had people who were being raised up in that was the Klingons. And y'all, let's face it, on DS9, when they go back,
yes,
it's like, we don't talk about it. I mean, come on, who didn't love that? Who didn't love that?
Then Enterprise managed to weave it all together.
I should have never done that. They should have never done that. Leave it mysterious. When they're sitting there guessing some kind of biological contagion, a genetic mutation, we do not speak of it with outsiders.
That's all we needed.
That's all we ever needed.
It was the nod to that. Everyone knew, and it was brilliant. I loved it.
Thank you,
Star
Victor
Trek
Fontaine.
the motion picture. In Star Trek the motion picture, when you saw those Klingon ships, you knew immediately who they are. They didn't have to talk. They didn't have to do anything.
Oh yeah, as soon as you saw those D7 cruisers, and they were Katingas, then they were the upgraded, just like the Enterprise got an upgrade. The old D7 Klingon battleships got upgrades, and were the Katinga class battle cruisers. Now, Victor Fontaine with the $9.99 super chat says, Loki, great Star Trek panel you brought together. Real good mix of opinions and a fun discussion. Thank you so very much, Vic, for that $9.99 super chat. Thank you to Mr. Buttcrack Media for yours. You guys keep the fires burning bright. We've been avoiding these because we have so much to go through in so little time, but here you guys go. Here's $1 for you. SKOL!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
That's right. Well, thank you guys so very much.
Us in 3 years.
It's a dollar bill.
Just saying.
Take your hat off, boy. JJ Klingorn's word about honor anymore. That was his crime. That's why we like the old new Klingons. Honor. Well, even some of them. Look at the Duras family. Even some of them weren't about honor. It's a problem in a society like that, and it's a societal problem. Going back to Shogunate Japan, going back to like the Toyotomis, those rebellions and those kingdoms.
Yeah.
Honor meant one thing to someone and another thing to someone else. And that's what you
don't even need to go that far back as far as Japan goes. World War II.
Everyone at each other's throats, figuratively and literally.
The only people that hated the Japanese Navy more than the United States was the Japanese Army. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, and there is still
that was the biggest rivalry there ever was between military branches.
Yeah. I mean, even today in the East, there is that concept of saving face. And it all stems from, that built-in honor code that has lasted all these generations.
And it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the state of Star Trek, that talking about history is far more entertaining.
Bill Barkley, apparently Klingons have two thingy-me-bobs.
Oh, yeah.
Eyebrow raising.
Oh, okay. Back on topic here.
Wow.
They pull a Return of the Jedi, and Jack goes up to see Vadic, and I was like, he's holding a thermal detonator. And it's like D, and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, Princess Leia.
I just found that scene to be rather peculiar. And the way they switch it later on, it's not a bomb, it's a shield.
Yeah,
I thought that was clever.
The thing about it is that shield was round, and it should have got sucked out of the ship just like everything else. I mean, what did it have? One of them have a hook on their ass tied to the floor? I don't know.
Well, it was inside, so the shield went out of it. So it wasn't like outside of the shield. It came out of that red glowy light and went around them. So
I found it odd that there actually was, and I said this, I believe, when the show ended. I found it very odd that there was a way to decompress the bridge.
Okay, so that actually is canon. If you go back to the Enterprise and the Enterprise D, and you go through all the schematics, behind the view screen, there is a hatch on the Enterprise D that you never see because it's behind the view screen. You have to pull the view screen out, and there's a hatch there that you can open up, and you can get out of the ship. This is in case it does a soft belly. If the saucer section does a soft belly landing on a planet, you can get off of the bridge, because you don't know how much damage has been done to the turbolift, and you don't want to have to crawl through, however many levels of Jeffrey tubes to get off the damn ship. So you've got emergency escape hatches on the shuttle bays, on the back shuttle bay of the saucer section, and the bridge, and 10 forward. 10 forward acts like a it's supposed to have like a blowout thing, kind of like what you get on an airplane, where you can just slide down the slide.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Well, that's something I wasn't aware of. It's always good to learn new things, ladies and gentlemen, especially for a show like Star Trek. But for me, this episode was very up and down. The scenes with
Brian, you gotta have all the technical and schematics at home, like Worf's dad. I have all the technical schematics and diagrams at home. That's why you gotta have all that shit.
Yes, but this episode was a bit of a hit and miss, to say the least.
They also show that on what was the episode where they all get that virus and they're all banging each other.
On DS9.
Yeah.
No.
TNG. Enterprise. Not Enterprise. Yeah, TNG.
Oh,
TNG. There's like a virus where that's where Data bangs
Yar.
Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
Why he has that picture of her, because she slept with Data.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a variation of that first Star Trek series where the ship went mad. It basically it was just a carbon copy of it. The
Naked
cure
Now
didn't work. Yeah.
So it was the Psi 2000 virus, and the episode was called The Naked Now. So one of the Federation ships, I believe it's a Miranda class. They blow that in space, and the entire bridge crew gets sucked out.
Oof.
And they did it on purpose as a joke, because they were all screwed up. They were all acting crazy, because it's like being drunk. So they were all drunk and messed up and high and whatever. And season 1, episode 3. Thank you, Chris Persia. The Naked Now. So we've seen that before. Even if you're like, well, the technical schematics aren't all correct, Loki. Well, we've seen it. It's canon. So Best part of the episode was Spot. Who didn't love that?
Oh my God, Spot, y'all. Yes.
What did you think about that, Arwyn?
That right there was what finished off Floor.
Yeah, because Spot, the power of the Spot, y'all. Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was brilliant to bring him back, and the way they were doing the memories. And it's like, Lore, you think you're taking things from Data, but what you're doing is you're absorbing who Data is in his soul. You're absorbing everything that he collected that helped to make Data. And the power, come on, y'all, it's Spot. That wasn't member berries. That was actually really clever writing, I thought.
There's a line in there somewhere, but it's too early for that.
How do you defeat Lore with lots of kitty? Lots of kitty.
The downfall of any man.
Who would have ever thought pussy was his kryptonite?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay,
the
Dave
downfall
Bob,
of any
I
man.
gotta ask Dave Bob a question. Didn't that touch your cold little heart, seeing Spot? Come on now.
Honestly, I don't like cat. Honestly, I don't like cat.
He's a dog guy.
Louisiana.
He's a dog man.
I love you, Dave Bob. You're just so true to form. You're like, hell no, I don't like cats.
I have my hounds scare them kitties off my property.
Get off my lawn.
That's
Spot.
what I got the 12 gauge for.
Sick 'em.
Margany draws with a $5 super chat. If something was done like that in current Star Trek would be much more egregious in your face, like it was when Lower Decks. No, exactly. And I got yelled at. How can you like the episode The Naked Now, but not like Lower Decks because of all this shit in it? And I'm like, it's two totally different things.
Yes.
In The Naked Now, you did not see a fucking orgy going on.
No.
In 10 Forward.
Yeah.
Lower Decks is just a piss take. I can never say it properly. Prodigy, I think, is a much better animated show. But in my view, Star Trek isn't primarily an animated show. Although we did have the animated series hold the fort for quite a few years. It's mainly a live action show, as it were.
Bill Barkley asked how many cats have played Spot by now. I think 4. Because you had the 2 that were in Next Gen, you had the one that was in you had the orange one that was in Generations, and then you have this one. So unless the one in Generations and this one is played by the same cat, they looked
a long time.
Yeah,
that
I'm
is
sure
a
the
long
original Spot's gone beyond the Rainbow Bridge now. I'd be shocked if he wasn't.
And they all look the same, which is good casting.
Adega Outlaw says Dave Bob has no soft spots. He's a man of iron.
That's why we love him. That's why we love him. He's just true to who he is.
Louisianan Iron Chicken. That's what we'll call him. Louisianan
Rooster.
Iron Rooster, not chicken.
With a harem, damn it.
That cat would be over 30 years old.
Yeah. I mean, some cats can't live that old, but it's very rare. It's very rare.
Spot looks like Jonesy. Okay, so final thoughts. Let's do final thoughts on this episode. We will start with the Lady Arwyn Avalon.
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It finally, the crew is back together again, y'all, and I was just so here for it. I thought Vatic, oh my God, if she doesn't shut up, I'm gonna lose my mind. Again, if you're gonna be a villain, I get it. Be a villain, commit, but damn it, don't be one note. She was one note. I said backstage, I said, she's on 20 and everybody else is on 10. And it was grating to just constantly her. I expected her to start drooling a couple of times. She was just so over the top. So but I enjoyed it. I liked it when he came in thinking it was a bomb. It turned out to be a shield. She gets jettisoned into space. I was here for that. Even Rafi didn't bug me. She had very little lines. She had some ninja action. I'm like, okay, that's a Rafi I can deal with. Just keep her character short, sweet, to the point. I'm fine with that. And I got my own theories about Jack and what's going on, and I've been intentionally avoiding all reviews, avoiding everything until I see the episode itself. So, talking with everyone backstage, I think some of us are kind of on the same page with that, but that's for another time. I loved it. The end scene where they're sitting around the table, I was just like, damn, I can see the relationships here. I love Geordi and Data. We got to see some of that. I love Troy and Riker. Got to see some of that. Got to see, Crusher and Deanna have a moment. I'm here for it. I was here for this episode. So I'm gonna give it another 9.5. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Hey, Dave Bob.
Well, excuse me.
From one spectrum to the other.
The sweet and the sour.
There was so much wrong with this episode. The story makes, no sense. I mean, it's just rambling all over the place. They threw the, the feels with you, and they, don't get me wrong. I'm not that cold-hearted. I enjoyed seeing a few of those scenes, but really, that's just fluff. That's what they're using to keep you there while they're trying to spin this yarn that makes absolutely no GD sense, in my opinion. So, as far as it goes, overall, I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Oh, I had a bet with Adega last night. Adega said you were going to give it a 3. I said you were going to give it a 1. So neither one of us is right. Damn, Adega.
Adega was closer, so pay up, Loki.
Dega was closer, but we're not going on close. You got to hit the needle.
Yeah.
There is no.
What did Adega say?
Dega said that you were going to give it a 3.
Ah,
And I said, you don't think he's going to give it a 1? And he was like, no. I was like, I think you give it a damn 1. Yeah, see, he's like, so close.
So close.
So close.
But no cigar.
Cigar. But I mean, so close, but no cigar. Rambling Canuck.
All right. So for me, this episode was what I expected for the most part. After our last little filler episode, I thought they'd start to ramp things up, but not really go too quick because you still got 2 more episodes to go. So I'm not expecting to see anything spectacular just yet. I really like the data lore scenes. I like the fact that the data used the the old tricked you, outsmarted him because data can't overpower him, but data can outsmart him.
Went back to TNG too with the Sherlock Holmes stuff. I mean, he even says Holmes didn't have anything that
I'm still trying to place, was it TNG or where in Star Trek, but they brought up the game Surrender.
Oh,
yeah, that was a Star Trek episode. I mean, a New Gen episode, I think.
Yeah, because that's what that was the strategy that Data did.
Yes,
and there's a strategy in chess called that too, where you give up high quality pieces to get the checkmate.
Yes.
So I really like that.
You're baiting your opponent to take your biggest pieces so you can set them up and take them.
Yeah, I won a chess tournament with that once. I gave up my queen and took his king. But so I really like that. Raffi was okay. Although I will say, in this episode, it gave me hope. One of the people I wanted, shoved out an airlock, got put out an airlock. So there's hope for Raffi. I'm just saying. I really like the, out the airlock and into her own ship and shatters to pieces. So that one's gone. I'm not sure I like the whole Diana Troy going into his memories and yay, unlocking the door. Oh geez. So I'm kind of hesitant for next episode. But there was a lot of good in this episode. There was some. Are you fucking kidding me? Like the blades against
lasers,
yeah, like the blades against your basic people who can transform into anything. Let's cut them with blades,
including blades. They can transform into blades.
Yeah, well, of course. So
why are they carrying blades?
Yeah, why didn't the Terminator just grab a sword? But. So to me that was kind of but I will give season 3 a heads up that you haven't been able to say anything like that in Discovery. A man put a woman in her place, and that doesn't happen in Star Trek lately. She does the big fighting scene, and then Worf comes along and goes, "You still didn't do it right." It was just kind of. Yes,
you've got to pop your wrist.
You've
got to snap the wrist.
Quit throwing your shoulder. Right. So that was nice. I liked the end scene with all the crew around the desk or the table. And maybe what they should have done is edited in, Picard going, "I'm sorry that I'm a pompous ass and didn't bring you in sooner." But other than that, so I'm going to give it a 7.
Ooh. Okay. All right, 24/7.
What's up, man?
Tell us what you thought. Let us know what your score is.
Well,
pressure. It's all on you. It's all on you, brother.
Okay.
A lot of pressure.
I see. Well, actually, you know, as I watched the episode, I thought it paced pretty well. The villain, old girl, she knew too much. I don't know. It was like she knew so much about this dude, and it was like, well, how could she possibly know? You know, it was just kind of weird. You know, there's to be honest, I thought that it was cool to see everybody come back. You know, I thought that was pretty interesting to see everything that happened with Data. I thought that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. You know, when the fight scene broke out and Ralphie jumped in the middle of that shit, I was rooting for the bad guys. I was like, man, fucking somebody hit, you know. So I was fuck. But she lived, and I was like, fuck.
Demonetized right there. No, I don't monetize these streams.
And you see anything else? Oh boy. This episode was better than the last one, but not by much. It was decent, but it lacked in some ways. And the thing is, if we have 2 more episodes left, then you got to look at this as like the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's like basically the last part of it is going to be broken into 2 parts. So basically, whatever's about to happen between the next 2 episodes, you might as well look at it as a 2-parter that's going to be, you know, along with this. You know, I know it's all kind of one big thing all together, but it's like they're going to set up, because once, you know, it's going to set up what they're about to face, which is the ultimate bad guy and the confrontation. And so it's like, well, it's probably going to take 2 episodes to set up, you know, who this bad guy is, you know, what are their motivations, all the other shit, and how does it all go down. So now that we got
like Harry Potter, the end of Harry Potter.
Right. And that's what I think these last 2 episodes are going to set up. And now that we got old girl out the way, you know, she, you know, got sucked out and everything. It's like, who else is left? Who's left is you know, the guy that's on top of her. You know, sounds funny, right? But I'm just saying, like the big baddie is who's next, and they're gonna have to figure that out here, and that's what these next 2 episodes are gonna be. And I'm thinking they might be a casualty along the way. Who knows? But other than that, I give this thing. Shit. I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
All right. I'm just gonna say right now, we see Kirk on the bridge of the Enterprise F, and he's like, "Let's see if we can have some fun, shall we?" I'm gonna shit a gold brick. Ryan, tell us what you thought. Give us a rank and.
This episode was hit and miss, ladies and gentlemen. Some very good, solid scenes, especially with Data and Lore and LaForge, and then towards the end, with the whole bridge, the old side.
Is Ryan roboting for anyone else?
Yeah, I thought maybe it was me.
Ryan,
yeah,
you might want to turn off your camera. I don't know if you can hear us. I don't know if you're getting any of this, but you're just.
I can hear you. My signal.
Okay.
Silly for a moment. I don't know. But this episode was essentially very hit and miss. Some scenes I would like legacy
breaking up
scenes
again.
with the
you're roboting
throwaway. I don't know what the
you might want to turn off the camera, man.
Might be the camera.
Oh, it is the computer signal, so I'm shutting down the secondary computer. And hopefully it'll clear up. But it's essentially a 5 out of 10 for me. They're going to have to throw everything they have at episodes 9 and 10, and fingers crossed, they're good episodes.
You know what? I agree with a lot of people on this panel. I even somewhat agree with Dave Bob, which isn't, out of the realm of oh my gods, because shit, we've watched a lot of Star Trek over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just going to come back to the fact that there's a lot of familiarity with these characters. I think they've nailed that. I just think some of this other stuff is weak. Having Rafi could do her Legolas thing with the changelings. Why doesn't Knife hurt a changeling? We saw a mace go through Odo's head and out the other side, and he was just like, really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to throw a piece of metal at me when it can just go right through my body and out the other side? Do you think that's going to bother me? And you can be like, well, these are the genetic upgrades, or this is that, or blah, 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 blah. You're not going to keep a changeling down by stabbing them with a sword. Why? Because they can just and heal right back up, and there you go.
Solidify around the knife.
So I don't get that. They can go around and shoot them all they want after that. But why are they on the ground? Why are they not moving? Why are they laying there playing dead when it just doesn't make sense to me?
It is inconsistent. Because even if they are genetically modified, which is what they're going to have to go with, because if you look at Vatic, she's got scars on her face, but you could chop off her hand and it'll grow back. So there is an inconsistency there. They're going to have to clear that up. Either they're going to do that or they're going to ignore it.
Yeah,
bet it's ignored.
Absolutely agree. Go ahead, Dave Bob.
I just said I bet it's ignored.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm worried about. Okay, there's some shit from last episode that we do not have clarification on. I want to know who the fucking scientist was working for at Daystrom that was working all this. If she was working on for the Federation, I call absolute bullshit. If she was working for Section 31, why did they have her on a Federation starbase doing that shit with other people around? Oh, but you didn't see other people around, did you, Loki? Bullshit. No one gets their own fucking lab on Daystrom where no one knows what they're doing. So someone else was in that lab at some point. Don't tell me they weren't. Don't tell me all this shit was all hush hush and they did it on Daystrom and no one knew what was going on. That's not how Starfleet works. So don't give me that shit. Things need to be explained. And if things are explained, then I will accept that. If they are glossed over, all it does is hurt this whole season. Because they're mystery boxes that they've thrown out there that just sit out there and float on the water, and that's JJ Trek. And I don't want to
loose ends.
And what I really want to know is after they took Data out of the Daystrom Institute or whatever, he was their sole, alarm system and their guard system, whatever. They just left it defensive. That thing could be looted by anybody now.
That's right. And Ken of the North says, wasn't the whole starbase Section 31? No, it was not. Daystrom Institute is a research station. It's a research lab for Starfleet.
Research lab.
Not for, it is the #1 research lab in Starfleet. So it is not Section 31.
Yeah, it's not the Guantanamo Bay of Starfleet. It is the research station of Starfleet.
It's the main game. That's where you want to go. If you're a scientist and you're working your way up in Starfleet and you're like, oh my God, I got a position on Daystrom. It's like getting your own ship for scientists. So no. And that's the thing. And if they just gloss over that, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to give this episode a 6.5. I'm giving this an episode of 6.5 because we get some more unexplained shit. Vatic is just like, when there's no reason to do that. There's a time and a place for everything. But her being all like, Jack in the box, Jack, the Jack, da. I'm a fucking fruitcake.
Yeah, she reminds me of Heath Ledger's Joker, man.
She's not her dad. Plain and simple. She's not Christopher Plummer. Chang was a totally different character, and her spinning around in her chair, wanting to act like that. I'm gonna impress Daddy with my acting skills. No, she needs to be her own villain.
I agree.
So and there's some over the top moments with her that I'm fine with, but then it's like y'all fucking have worn on me with this shit, and maybe that's why she's like broken up Jello pudding pops now. That's why they killed her, because it's like she just fell to pieces, guys.
Yeah.
She fell to pieces. So 6.5. I love the stuff with Data and Geordi. That really brought a lot of the episode. I love the stuff with Data and Lore. As soon as I saw that hat, and he was like, Holmes didn't have anything in his house that didn't have some form of meaning. I was like, is Data gonna get one past him? Is that how they're gonna do this? Oh, Lore's so powerful and Lore's overpowering and blah 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 blah. Data's super fucking intelligent.
Lore was also arrogant.
Yeah,
Lore was
arrogant.
arrogant, and that'll get you every time.
Here, take all my memories, Lore. Take all my memories and love them like I did them, and pet them and give them water every day and tell you how much you love them. And guess what, bitch? I'm back.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, Chris Burgess says the new changelings are modified to have fake organs, not real ones. They are still gelatinous species. Ship sensors don't scan by organs; they scan DNA. Why was that never? I want answers, and if they're gonna gloss over shit, then I'm like, you know what? You're gonna lose points for that. You are. I still love this fellowship that you brought back. I still love these people and the camaraderie and the familiarity between the characters and the actors and just this family that we grew up loving. But guess what? If you're still gonna miss out, and you're gonna lose points for doing stupid shit.
Yeah, we still don't like plot holes, and that
That's
would be
right.
a major plot hole.
So what happens at the end if this whole thing ends up being the Borg? Then
you know what? That's been the like prevailing theory so far.
Right.
Okay, so this is what I think. If it is the Borg, then the sector of the brain that Crusher said was infected with Irmotic syndrome, the sector of the brain they want to cut out from Jack. What if that part of the brain holds all of the information of the Borg?
The parietal lobe.
Okay, so all that data, all that information that John Luke was hooked up to, Seven had, all that shit. What if it's all there and it's just sitting there and they can't access it? But because you've got let's look at it like a battery that's filled too much, it's corroding that part of the brain. So that's why John Luke was losing his mind, because all that information is stored there and it's corrupted and it's almost leaking out and it rots his damn brain. Jack's got the same shit, but it's like, open the door, sweetie. We're coming to get you behind the boathouse. I'll show you my dark secret. Or as Dave Bob's like, a woman has experienced ultimate pleasure behind the green door.
Yeah.
Because Dave Bob remembers what's behind.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, there we go. That's our review this morning of Star Trek Episode 8, Surrender. Thank you so very much for being here, everyone. We're going to go around the room one last time. Let us know what you're doing. And just as an update, no, we will not have a late show tonight. So Mike is extremely busy, and I had doctor shit I had to do all day yesterday. And this is so we're going to start with 24/7. What you got going on, brother? What you doing? And let us know let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, man, you can find me over at 24/7 Fusion Media. Thank y'all for having me. Had a great time being here with y'all. I'll be doing a live stream a little bit later. Don't know when, but it'll happen here in a couple of hours. And after that, I'll just be working on a video and seeing what I can get into over this Easter weekend. So happy Easter to everybody. In case don't get to talk to y'all till next week or whatever. I know a lot of people are gonna take time off, be with their families, do a whole bunch of fun stuff, eating chocolate bunnies and all that good stuff and marshmallow peeps and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I can't do that shit anymore.
I know, man. Yeah,
I wish I could have some fucking peeps. I want some peeps, goddammit.
They got Peeps cereal. So if you want to go that route, don't do it though. But I'm just saying, other than that,
you, Mark. Fuck you, Mark. Fuck you, Mark. Cadbury caramel eggs, you son of a bitch.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Caramel ones are the good ones. The minis.
Yup. Caramel with the little yolk in that. Yeah, I remember the commercials, man. Yeah, that was some good stuff right there, man. Yeah, peeps are disgusting, huh? Snow. I know that, man. I know, but people, just the one time of the year they'll do it. But I just wanted to wish everybody, happy Easter. You guys have a good Friday. Hopefully, if you're eating fish, make sure you get the bones out that month. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat it like you Heathcliff or Garfield or some shit. Where you put the whole fish in your mouth, you pull it out, and you can see nothing but the fish bones. Don't do that.
It doesn't work.
I know.
That's why I have 5 filleting knives.
I know, right? But just want to tell everybody, thank y'all for having me. I had a great time, man. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and love you guys, man. Thank you.
Oh yeah, 24. Thank you, brother. Mr. Tickle Trunk with a $2.20 Canadian super chat says, "Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you."
There you go. Happy Easter.
Arwyn Avalon, the lady Arwyn Avalon. Let everybody know where to find you, what you got going on, and
okay. You can find me on my YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on BackTube. You can find me around. I'm around. Let's see. Tonight, we weren't able to do it yesterday. I had something I had to take care of, but tonight at 6 on my channel is going to be Arwena Activated. So y'all come on out and just join us, and we'll have a good time.
What time is that?
It's at 6 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. And yeah, again, thank you for having me on here. I look forward to this every Friday. I enjoy it. I love being on panel with y'all. I love the varying opinions because you know what? We're adults and we could do that here, damn it. We don't all have to think the same. And that's what makes life interesting. And happy Easter, happy Star, whatever y'all celebrate. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Life is short, y'all. Don't let stupid things get in the way. Just have a good time. So, and thank you again, Loki, for having me on here.
Thank you.
I'm honored.
Thank you for being a part of it. We're honored to have you. The lady, Arwyn Avalon, ladies and gentlemen. Rambling Canuck, the rambling man from Canada.
Yes, it's covered in freaking snow because Mother Nature hates us. I had grass in my yard earlier this week. Damn it. Anyway, so later on today, a video will be dropping at some point. I didn't get to it yesterday, so I'll be doing that when I get off this. And then also tomorrow, drop by Mary's Game Room, her channel, because at 1:30 p.m. Her charity will officially launch. So go support her on that one. And then karaoke tomorrow night, and then we do it all over again next week.
Yeah. All right, Daybob.
Well, appreciate y'all putting up with my negativity.
Love your negativity.
I guess next Friday I'll be back here shitting on Star Trek.
We love your negativity, and it's because we love your honesty.
Yeah, for real.
Roger Athay, tell us where they can find you and what you got going on coming up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching this show. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to Loki's Mornings of Mischief. I'm sure you will enjoy what he has to offer. In regards to me, I'll be making a few suggestions. I can't speak today. blooper, I'll be making a few suggestion videos on my YouTube channel. That's Ryan Roger Athay. It's right down there. And in regards to Reality Base, the next episode will be on the 9th of April at 11 p.m. UK time with special guest Gorilla's Random Thoughts. We'll be welcoming him back. So that's my schedule. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, brother. We should be back Monday. I highly doubt that I'm going to do anything beyond coming by and seeing this great gentleman right here who just hit 2K subscribers.
Oh, congratulations, Snow.
Nice, Snow.
Tomorrow night. And everybody head over there. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you check out what Snow Dub's doing. The guy this has been a long time coming, and I can't think of anybody that deserves it more. So if you haven't subscribed to Snow Dub, head over there, check him out. 2K celebration tomorrow night. Be there or be square. I wish I had the little dusty thing that Daryl does. The little fairy dust sound effect. Magic. Be there or be square. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys next week on the next Picard review. Take care, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Take her easy.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.